Hey, when are you gonna put your calendar up? When are you gonna put your calendar up? It's February, bro. That means you already missed whoever I put for January.
Bum bum bum. I put mine up January 1st.
Pick that up and tell me who's
Just
in
kidding.
January.
I didn't even get it January 1st. What? Where was
Who's in January that
Oh,
we
let's
missed
check
out
it out.
already? What if it's someone good?
Didn't you put
What if it's
Jotaro in
Jotaro?
December?
Yeah, I did.
Oh fuck yeah, dude, that's great. Your birthday's in July.
I messed up.
Was July
I meant
for
to put.
mine?
I meant to put July for yours, but I put in June because I mixed the days up. Yours is.
Jolene, bro.
Jolene.
It's okay. She
I haven't
repeats.
seen that season
See what
anyways.
February
It's okay. She
is.
repeats.
All right, cool. You have another chance. Joseph
That's a good one.
Joestar. That's such a good image too.
I can't remember which film I used for yours for July, but it was like a very lovey one. Like I read the bio and they said it was like a romance one.
We'll
I
have to
felt
go
like it
look
fit
at
Kaylin.
it and then decide what it is. Hold
Kaylin
on.
gives me like rom-com vibes.
Yeah,
The aesthetic. Mine's like horror films, but not really.
That's funny.
she knew it was up. She
Yeah.
put that stand and everything on for December.
You should have put
So
Star
lovely.
Platinum pitching.
And
You should've just put
Kinsey's
a
is
baseball
like
outfit.
I knew that too, but at the time I just didn't think on it. Kinsey's is like little kid film aesthetic,
Is little what?
like
Little
Little
Kid.
Rascals.
What are you talking about?
Well, I was saying that Kaylin's aesthetic is like rom-coms, and I was like,
Oh.
mine's like horror films, but like the slasher horror films, not like
Oh, and what's
psychologically.
mine?
Yours is like the Little
Sweet.
Rascals,
What are you talking about?
like the little. You ever seen the Little
We're
Rascals?
talking about the little cartoon where they look like
No, they're
drawn.
not cartoons. You've never seen the
You're
Little
talking
Rascals?
about the
Like
human.
with alfalfa.
Yeah, wait,
Yeah.
that's my aesthetic.
Yeah, because they're little kids, but they're up to no good.
Okay,
But they're cute, so you're just like,
wait,
oh, they're little kids.
visually, I was like,
I have a
that's kinda boring.
question.
But then the actual
Yeah.
content you just said, yeah, up
When
to no good. Mhm.
When I get
Mhm.
Mariah caught up on these books that we're reading, Kenzie, can I introduce it to the podcast?
Yeah,
I
why
mean, you're the
not?
one that found the books.
No. Oh, I
She's
just
asking
think, are
you
we
to
allowed to
use-
talk
yeah,
about
it's
books?
media.
Oh yeah, it's anything. We just
Awesome.
happen to do
It's
shows.
any
I
form
think I
of
want to
media.
talk about the first two books first because those are the only two I read, and
I think that might be a
We-
lot for a
No.
single episode of a podcast.
we're not. The thing is, though, is we're not even going to hardly talk. Hey,
Too late.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about the plot, dude. Obviously, we're gonna talk about the sex.
Hmm.
well, not only that, but like so much changes in the second book that if we talk about the first book and then talk about the second book, it makes the first episode so irrelevant because like you needed the second book to really talk about it. Like we're gonna be like, anyways, that happened in the book one, book two. Like that's how it is.
Well, the fans could tell us if that upsets them or not. I'm just kidding.
Oh no, the fans would agree.
What if they're like, why didn't you dive deeper in the first one?
I'll tell you why.
Dang.
I'll tell you why you're wrong if the first book's your favorite.
Bring us in, Kins.
No, it's not time.
It's not my time to do it this time.
It is.
Welcome to Post Credit Depression, where we talk about this week's current hyperfixation. My name's Kinsey. My fun fact is that Chowder and Bean are my cats that we talk about on this podcast.
My name's Kaylin. I raise those cats basically these days.
What'd you say?
My name's Mariah, and my fun fact is Kaylin didn't say her name or fun fact last episode, if you caught it.
Bum bum bum.
I did.
Nope. You didn't. I was editing it, and I was like, where's Kaylin's intro? Where is it? And I kept listening. I was like, it's not there.
Well, do I need to record it and put it
Nah,
there?
No,
Nah.
it's funny.
No, I don't get a fun. My fun facts is I didn't do a fun
From last week. Oh, my
God
gosh.
damn it! Y'all gotta be
Um,
more on it. This is why we can't
Well,
double up in a
I
weekend.
think what happened is we went on to like dogging someone, and we just never went back onto it. When I finish editing, I'll text you and let you know what it says. What happened.
Oh my god.
I was just teasing you because you used Chatter as your fun fact for the second week. That was all.
What did I say last week?
Oh, the second week. For the Silent Hill episode, you were like, my fun fact is I have a cat named Chowder. and
Guys.
it does something. So it was just funny.
Damn,
Guys.
y'all. Okay,
These fun facts suck this week. Let's think of a new one.
okay. Well, let's just keep
Okay.
this in here. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to
Second,
keep all of that in there.
Second fun fact is that Chowder has extra toes. I
That's
think
a
he
good
has
one.
14 on his.
I think that was your literal fact for the second episode.
I don't. Are you sure? All right, hold on.
I'll pull it up,
Chowder.
I'll pull it up.
Third fact is that he looks like a raccoon, and I swear to God, like he doesn't really look like a cat from behind. He looks like a raccoon, digging into the trash. We'll put pics up.
All right. What was that, Chowder?
Did you guys hear that in that?
I don't know if it was
Mariah's
loud
the
enough
one
to the
keeping
mic.
track of
You
our
know
fun
what?
facts.
You know what? Mariah had me so fucked up telling me I had to, introduce this episode. I really didn't think
You
about my
weren't
fact. I
prepared.
just started.
It's okay. I'll
God
cut
damn
all
it.
that.
We need to start taking notes
Um,
because once we get into episode 100, like, we need to have just, like, a Excel sheets of all of our fun facts. That way we can, like, reference them. And we can just type in the words, like, 14 toes, and it'll pull it up like a search bar.
It's fine if they repeat. I was just
It's
teasing.
fine. It's fine.
No, I just think it'd be funny to see how many
Did
times.
you
it
give a
references.
second
Chowder.
fun fact?
Show
I'm
us your
about
toes.
to. My second fun fact is that the water knock from Frozen 2 makes me stim.
Oh, that's funny.
My second fun fact is that my favorite color is baby duck yellow.
You know what they say about people who like the color yellow.
They're ugly.
What?
Yeah, remember Taylor said it to you. We were like brand new fucking friends, and she pulls up this video or whatever, and she was quoting a video, and they're like, "Why the fuck do you have your hair like that?" And she's like, "People whose favorite color is yellow are ugly." And I looked at the kid, and I was like, "My favorite color is yellow."
Well, you know what? Y'all constantly be sending me videos about people who have a favorite color, specifically an exact shade of green or
They're
gay.
I do.
It's
So
true,
what do you have
though.
to say about me with my favorite color being yellow?
You're ugly, I guess. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Damn.
Mine don't change the fact that I'm gay.
Kinsey has pointed out that we have an ongoing joke about me being gay, so now we're just gonna call Kinsey gay. Ready? We're gonna chant it. Gay, 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 gay. But like in every episode, there's a jab about me being gay.
I can't deny it. I have like 3 wives in Genshin.
but what's funny about it is that she's homophobic about her.
No.
penis.
All right, guys, that's
About
like a
herself.
joke. It's a joke. It's
It's a
about
joke.
myself.
It's a joke.
It's internal homophobia, okay?
Yeah, it really is. It's fine.
Internalized
Bro.
homophobia
I was
inflicted.
raised Baptist, please.
I'd be thinking like, yeah, I'm straight, and then
I'm not
you
actually Baptist now.
do shit like Genshin. I see Shenhe, and I'm like,
And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa.
what do you say? No
I
better than
know
a man.
better than a man.
Yeah. Damn. Chowder, do you have something to say? Come here.
He's
I'll
lost.
give you the mic. Here, Chowder.
We try to keep the cats out of
Come
the
here, Chowder.
room every time, but once in a while, one slips through.
One slips through the gates.
I
Undetected.
got him out once.
Kaylin's knocking our studio over.
Not do that. So anyway. Anyway, Kaylin,
Yes.
what are you showing this week on the podcast?
Now you're the one burping. It was Kinsey that started it. Now you are. This week I'm introducing Beastars.
Wow.
Oh.
Sorry, Chowder jumped on the back of my chair. What do
Thoughts?
you have
You
to
know what?
say,
I
Chowder?
watched my little clip of Beastars in 9 minutes.
I hope you guys.
I
hear
should have
sniff.
watched. Not that I didn't watch it, guys. I gave it a chance. We'll get into that. I didn't watch the intro. I love the claymation intro. I will
That's
give
what got
credits for
Kinsey and I
that.
into it.
Oh, first of all, I gotta tell a story right now. Even though it's Kaylin's week, I don't give a shit. So, I was on Twitter. This is before Kaylin watched it.
Get him.
All right, guys, hold on. Intermission. We have to take
We
Chowder
have
out
to
of
remove
here.
the cat from the studio.
He waits. He's like so
Da-na-na-na-na.
fat. He's trying to figure out how to like navigate my desk.
Da-na-na-na-na.
Ah, he almost killed your plate.
Poor guy. Poor chubby Chowder. Sorry, let me shake his hand. Salute. You gotta go, man.
He's trying to wiggle. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't pop your fingers on me.
Oh, Canada.
Can you
na,
see?
na. What do you sing?
Oh, Canada,
Uh,
can you see?
Baby, won't you love me goodbye? Da 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 da.
Give it to me one last time. We sung like 4 different songs just to.
Yeah, it was funny. That was my salute to Chowder having to be removed from the room. I was trying to sing the Canadian
Alright.
national anthem because they sing it when I go to the hockey games, but I couldn't remember it.
Twitter.
What was I saying? So I was on Twitter. This is before Kaylin even told me about the show, even watched the show. And I see a clip of this bunny and this wolf dancing in claymation style with good ass music.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit. Preface, by the way, I did not like furry stuff before this. And when I saw that clip, I was like, they are so cute. I shipped them so hard. What the fuck? What is this? So I went on a little deep dive and said, what the fuck is this? Turns out it was a show called Beastars.
Doesn't help that it was COVID either. We were all terribly lonely.
Yeah. So then I pulled up the show because I was like, listen, it looks like romance. I'm all for romance. I read tons of webtoons, fanfiction.net. You know what's up. And I pulled up the show, and I instantly got caught. You know, like I was
She
like,
gets a
this is
text from
amazing.
me because I basically go through the
Wait,
same
no, hold on.
experience. But I didn't go through Twitter because I didn't have Twitter till like a week ago, like today.
Yeah. Yeah, so I get a text from Kaylin. I'm already almost done with the show. And she's like, hey, listen, I got a suggestion for you to watch. Please don't judge it. Like, please have an open mind.
Little did you know that Kaylin would be the last person to judge
The funny
it.
thing is, she didn't mention anything about it. She didn't say it was furry at all. She just said that. I was like, oh, you mean Beastars? Yeah, I'm already almost done with it.
I didn't even insinuate it was. She's like, are you talking about Beastars? And I was like, how did you know? She's like, yeah, I'm almost finished. So
And Kaylin felt so betrayed,
So I had to
confused.
catch up to her because it was just so funny that we both discovered it and was intrigued equally from this like fucking opening.
Yeah, I was like, maybe if you had a Twitter, Kaylin, you'd be up to date on the news. Okay,
Mhm.
that's my newspaper, news channel.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
etc.
Twitter's the hookup on all new information.
Exactly. So, anyways, that was my little story of how I found the show and how I thought it was funny that me, who was not a furry at the time, and I'm only like furry adjacent, found it before Kaylin, who was definitely more of a furry than I was at the time.
I think I'm going to because Mariah did like I introduced it to her. We did watch some of it, and
I watched like the first 4 episodes, I think.
yeah, I mean, not everybody's cup of tea, but like I want to get into just like
I gave it a fair chance. I really
fair
did.
chance. Well, let me share my love, okay? Let me tell you why my heart's so big that like I have room for this show in our hearts. I think that the characterization of these animals are so good, and the main character Legoshi being the sensitive, sweet, shy wolf who's just misunderstood. I mean, some people would roast and say that's a boring like character, but
Absolutely
I don't.
not. I love submissive men.
I think it's funny that 9-minute recap we watch, joking about he's like the only person in this world who seems
Can we
to
do
give
a
a shit.
spoiler alert just in case? I'm sure there's people who might want to watch it who have not watched it.
Somebody else do the spoiler.
We're
alert.
watching a spoiler for the whole
alert.
first season.
Okay. He seems to be like the only
We
character.
should make a sound effect of you going spoiler alert.
That'd be funny.
Like who consciously gives a shit about like the world that he's in and upset about it and like has just a conscience about it. Like he's a carnivore who has that, so I feel like that's more unique. Obviously the herbivores don't want to get eat. They're all against it. But like all of the carnivores, especially those in power or like, you know, his classmates.
Did they talk about that in the first 4 episodes when I watched it? Because I don't remember them talking about it that heavily.
You weren't paying attention.
I was.
Mm-hmm.
So Tim, the classmate, he dies like at the very first scene
Yeah, that
of the
was
show. And then the conversation comes up of just the hysteria of, oh my god, you don't know who like could be the killer, or his crush, the girl alpaca. They show a scene of her like scared of Legoshi, and then by the end of the scene, she's like, "Dang, I like misjudged you. You're actually a really sweet wolf." And I'd say in the middle of the show, and definitely climbing up to the climax, they have conversations about like the herbivores want to do something like more segregation between the animals. The carnivores don't give a shit. Like the black market exists, and they're kind of like, this is just how the world works. And Legoshi's actually depressed about it. He has a pet beetle that he loves and cries about like when he dies. Like,
What's his zodiac sign?
It's got to be a Cancer, bro. Like, out of all the water signs, yeah, the nicest
Cancer
one.
men though in real life, if they're underdeveloped, they're so annoying. But
Oh, absolutely. I've never really met a developed one, but if there was one, Legoshi would be.
yeah, but I'm the burpy one.
Did they ever figure out who the killer was?
They do.
Oh, wow.
It's
You
season
didn't get
2.
to find out.
No, I didn't.
I'm the
finish.
only person in
It's
this
a
room
Pisces.
who has finished season 2.
Oh, okay, I'll
Started
accept
and
Pisces
finished.
too.
Did you?
Oh, so you don't know who the killer is either?
I do.
Oh, you
Oh,
spoiled
she
it for
looked at
yourself?
spoils.
No, I watched it.
You watched season 2?
In season 1, he finds out who it is.
Nope.
Yes, he does.
Nope.
Yes, he
Nope.
does.
No.
You're wrong.
No.
You're wrong.
No, because the first
Okay.
episode of season 2, spoiler alert for season 2,
We're
is
gonna cut that.
this security guard finding Legoshi, and they're like, we need to find out who the killer is. And it's this rattlesnake who's only a season 2 character, and I was like,
It
I
was a
need your help.
snake?
No, the snake
Uh-oh.
security guard is like, girl, I need your help finding the killer, like, because
Yeah.
you know you're a student, like, help.
Let me Google something really quick because I
Who was the
remember
killer?
him. Hold on. I remember him confronting the killer saying, I know you did it, even if though he didn't have enough evidence. And he was like, no one's going to believe you. Like, fuck
season
you.
2, because
I
also
don't think so.
the gay ram from season 2 is only a season 2 character, and he eavesdropped on that conversation and was in danger.
Hold on. Let me look it up.
Canada.
Hold on, I got to put my...
Well, I only watched the first couple of episodes, not because I'm not a furry, though I'm not. I think that I tried to really enjoy it. I really did, Kaylin, for you specifically, because it was on the list of animes Kaylin gave me, like she's talked about when we first became friends. I just couldn't get into it. Like, I felt like I was like a fake fan, like, because y'all were like obsessing over it, and I was just like, yeah, cool, next episode.
Was it the animal
Damn
heads that threw
it!
you off?
No, I
Damn
can't.
it, Kaylin, you're right. I think there was something in season 1 where he was guessing that it was him. Like, I remember him talking to him, And
I think he said
insinuating-
something about like the killer has to be someone in this club, someone close to Tim.
He was in every like episode, dude.
I don't think the animal head was an issue because I liked BoJack Horseman. Animals, there were literally animals fucking humans in that show. So like I don't think it was the animals, and I don't like the animations were good. Like I don't know what it was, I just didn't get into it. And I think what it is you guys were just so obsessed with it, and all the animes we were watching prior to that hooked me in so fast. And we were watching Beastars, I was like,
I feel like Beastars is something
Cool.
that you have to watch, like you have to take some time with first, because I think the main thing that got me into Beastars was like the romance aspect. I thought Legoshi was such a romantic character.
maybe that too. I think that
And I
they're like
loved it.
the two characters' relationship was weird at the first. Like I was like, I don't understand like the actual chemistry. Like, do they like each other? Do they not like each other? Because it was kind of confusing.
Well, at the
with
beginning,
the whole,
it was confusing. He didn't
Yeah.
know how he felt about it.
And then
yet.
I was like, so is he a killer or not? Is she a whore or not? Like,
Why with
I
the
just-
slut shame?
I just had so many things that just didn't really add up in my brain at the time when I was watching it. So I was like, I'm over it.
Well, okay, so
You gotta rewatch it. It's
the
really
two
good.
things. Hold on, I'm gonna hold two fingers up, and I'm gonna get through both these fingers. Okay, first finger about Legoshi in that point is, his feelings. That's the thing. Is it was very much at first when he first met her, wanted to kill her and eat her, and then just the fact that he started getting to know her, like he became interested in her, and it was a form of infatuation where he was like, I want to learn more about her, but then he still had the instinct, so he's like trying to balance both, where he's like pushing that down so he can really get to know her.
I would say it was a kind of a slow burn, because the thing is that intro like literally got me caught. Like I was like, they're gonna like each other. I feel the tension in this intro. You don't get to feel that true tension until a few episodes in, I think.
Yeah, and by I'd say it was like 2/3 of the way to the show, so right before the climax, he tells her, he's like, I love you, and she's like, I literally don't want to hear this confession. Like, she's not really
Wasn't that in the
accepting.
subway or whatever?
No, he actually tells her at the carnival.
Yeah.
They have a moment at the subway where he says, I want you to stop seeing other guys, and she's like, you can't tell me what to do.
I think
And
you showed me that scene.
yeah. At that point, he like tried grabbing her arm, like, because she wanted to walk away, and he's like, no, let's finish talking. Other people thought that he was like, trying to eat her, and so they ran away and they hid in the bathroom. But then he saw her with Louis, and then he was like, you know what, I love you so much, like, I'm just gonna let you go. She got kidnapped later that episode, and then when Louis told Legoshi, no, that's just the way of the world, like, she's just gonna have to die, he's like, you know what, fuck you, you don't get to love Haru, and like beat the shit out of him.
You obviously don't love Haru enough to go let her die.
I think I would only
Yeah.
rewatch it strictly for the voice actor of Legoshi.
Honestly, Maya, I feel like if you
Matthew
rewatched
Mercer.
it and were like really patient, you would end up really liking it.
That's the thing when she
Which is
showed
really
it to
good.
me, like you and I, we got like the same type, and I'm like,
That's why I'm
love,
like, you need
I,
to watch
I like.
it.
I think at first it kind of like turned me off the idea. I'm like, he like could just eat her,
I actually
Oh, yes,
teared
no,
up.
but
that
he
bothered
also
me too.
wants to protect her. But at the same time, you're like, that's what I want, the secreted man that will
Well,
protect me in silence. But
He
also, I
doesn't
think
my-
like that
he's my
part to
exact type.
himself. He's disgusted with that part of inside him, that lust for blood,
Yeah.
and feels ashamed by it, and he's working through it.
I think
I
that's
think
why I was
that's-
so able to get over it, Mariah. Is
Yeah.
that I'm not saying that's bad of you. I'm just saying he just hated that part of him so much that I was like, all right, I'm still in for the ride. I want to see the romance,
Yeah, and that's
But I
why I
can see
wanted to
why
give it a
it
chance
wasn't
because
good.
like the story is something I would like. Like you and I, we talk about like the story. Like if I humanize it, it's something I'd like. But it's not just the fact they were animals either. Because I watch so many shows where they are animals.
You want me to tell you what
So-
I don't really like about it though?
Yeah,
I still gotta
Is
get to my
the,
second finger when y'all are done.
Okay, I think he's gonna be your type when you watch it, and you're gonna like his feelings for her.
But
Like it's
he's a
really
Pisces
cute.
though, so like.
He's so cute though. But I didn't really like Haru's voice actor, and
Oh,
I
me
didn't
neither.
feel like she was good at showing how she actually liked him. Like
Yeah.
Fun fact, I watched it in Japanese first. My bitch Kinsey watched it in English. And I was like, Kinsey, like, I was watching it in English with her, and I heard Haru's voice, and I heard
Emotionless.
Louis' voice, and I was like, please listen to their voices in Japanese just real quick. And she played them for me. Or I played it for her, and she was like, "You're right, they're good, but here, listen to Legoshi's," and it was just undeniably better.
Haru's voice in the Japanese one, I think, shows a lot more feelings for Legoshi. So I would have believed that she liked him more from that side. But I loved Legoshi's English actor.
I think
so
I watched
hard.
an episode in both. Like I watched one with you, and then Kinsey joined the conversation, so we switched it. But you also can't go wrong with Legoshi's voice actor. I mean, I also think I would sacrifice every single character in that show having a horrible voice actor just for that.
He's my husbando.
I've watched
yeah,
the
I mean,
series.
I watched
maybe-
Joe, and she told me that it was just like Aaron Skate. She was like, "That's the same guy." I was like, "Makes sense."
What's your second point, Kaylin?
Real quick, since 2020 when the show came out and we were all watching it then, Now it's 2023. I've probably seen that first season beginning to end maybe 3 or 4 times. And the very first time I watched it through was in Japanese. I think if you watch it in Japanese first and then go back and watch it in English, where there's more unbearable voice actors, you kind of get more of a you get a more rounded sense of the voice acting and the emotions and the feelings coming across. Because I got to watch it hearing, Haru pour her heart back in, and the Japanese voice actor for Legoshi didn't do bad, but I was like, you're not wrong. Matthew Mercer killed it.
It's so worth watching the English version just for his English.
I need a list of shows of every show where Matthew Mercer
Bro,
talks
me
a
the
lot.
fuck too.
Well, Vox Machina is coming up later on our list, guys. For my end. That's my current hyperfixation, actually.
Did you already go through your second point?
No.
I was forgetting. Sorry.
You're getting bothered by this finger. Second finger about Haru, because I know you're like, is she a whore? Is she not? And
I know that she's not actually a whore, but like that's how when you first watch a show, like the other like antagonist girls are like, you're sleeping with my boyfriend, aren't you? You
yeah,
slut?
I know. Well,
That's what they said.
But then all the guys are like, oh yeah, she has that birthmark. I've seen it too, and like she's actually sleeping around with a lot of guys on campus, and I really liked leading up to like her little like piece about it when she's writing the will to herself and she thinks she's gonna die, about how sex was the only power she ever felt.
I liked that.
Let
You
me-
told me that.
That line, I was like, damn.
Let me tell you though, although I can appreciate why she's saying that, I also think it's so harmful to her. Because she thinks that
100%.
like
but
it was
it's like
so sad to hear her say that that's what made her the happiest.
Yeah.
When there's there's a bunch of other ways to regain your power. Do you know what I'm saying? Obviously, she felt like that was her only option with what she had. But it was so sad to see that. I was like, no, girl. Like, no, there's so many other things to value about yourself. And I'm not at all, like, slut-shaming women that have sex with a lot of men. I don't care. Like, go do you, right?
You're
But
just, like, looking for her you're, like, looking out for her mental
I'm looking
health.
out for her mental health. Like, she literally said she didn't care about dying several times in the show. Like, if anything, she would have sex with all these boys to get that serotonin high of feeling like she was empowered. It was a very unhealthy place.
Yeah. So when she was, like, trying to seduce Legoshi into having sex, and he said no and like put a blanket on her, and he was like, no, I'm not into just fucking you. I think that like at first she was confused, and then she wanted to get to know this wolf. She was like, like what's his deal, and found out that he's sweet and quiet and shy and really cares about her. And I'm just like, fuck, like
You know what I liked? The roommate that was the golden retriever.
I think he's a lab.
Well,
I don't know.
liked
He's
him.
got a long furry tail, dude.
Well, regardless,
Labs
I
don't.
liked the dog. That was his roommate. He was pretty chill. He only showed up for some commentary here and there.
Yeah.
I liked when he found his porn magazine of bunnies.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was hilarious.
You saw that part?
Yeah.
It's like, hey brother, listen.
Yeah.
I know you're into some weird shit, man.
But he was still like, I love you. I'm not a cop. But what the fuck? He's
But like, let's talk about this.
And then
where's this coming from?
Legoshi's panic right after that scene where he's like, what the fuck did you
That's my FBI agent now that I've looked up this Gunshin shit
That-
on my
Dude,
phone.
Legoshi was literally Mariah when you find out something about her she didn't want you to know.
Yeah.
He was like, why did you go through my... Like, he wasn't, like, going to hurt him. He was just so afraid of him judging whatever
Yeah.
the fuck he just saw.
You just don't want to be
Interesting.
perceived sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you don't want to be perceived. Let me do my thing.
I was sitting here forming my thoughts about Haru and Legoshi's relationship from Haru's perspective a little bit more, because we could talk about Legoshi's all day long because it's a little bit more black and
Can you
white.
put your mic more in front of your face? It's like you're talking to the side of it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, while I was recording, you were like going in and out.
I said it's easy to talk about Legoshi all day long in the way that he feels about Haru, but like I think sometimes people don't understand why Haru pushes and pulls Legoshi like so much with like I think it's because she doesn't know what like that real love is. Like we were just talking about how she finds power and stability in having sex with people because she's like a small animal, and she's like, you know what, this is the only way I feel power in this world. But then with this wolf who wants to be actually gentle with her and sweet with her and show her real feelings, she's almost scared of that because she's like kind of suspicious of it. She's like, why are you doing this? Like, what are you in this for? And even up to the point that he confesses that he loves her, like she's in denial about it. And even the season, like very last scene, or I was gonna say season finale, but the last scene, she's running away from him, and she's like, how can we be in love? Like, it's impossible. And he's like, well, figure the fuck out.
Doesn't she say that she had never had sex with a predator?
Yeah.
And that he'd be her first predator or whatever?
Yep.
That's
I
weird.
also feel like, to an extent, she has some sort of power trip at the beginning at the idea of having so much control over this predator and not even having sex with him. You know, she's like very confused about this relationship with him, which is why I think she keeps pulling and pushing him, because she's trying to test those boundaries without, you know, getting killed, considering she's only fucked around with a lot of male prey animals. So I think there's a mixture of confusion as well as like safety issues and then excitement all within when she pulls and pushes him away from herself.
Can I do that to mine?
So, Mariah, can you tell
microphone
me?
is naked. What?
Can you tell me some specific things that really turned you off about the show, or things you really didn't like?
I don't know, because I wanted to watch it. I think that what it is I just like didn't feel as hooked as you guys were when you guys would talk about it, and I was like you know when like episodes end when you guys show me something, you just unscrew him. Like, you know when we're like done watching an episode and we'll like talk about it and say stuff, you guys had so much to say, and I was like, I'm not really jiving. I don't know why. Like I just don't know what it is. Like, and that's why like obviously like, I think the easiest for me to say is like I just didn't like that they were animals. But that would be a lie, because I watched other shows where the characters were animals.
Maybe you just didn't like the way that these animals were
Maybe
done.
you just needed time. Honestly, you were
Yeah.
saying that the show didn't pick up as fast as you expected it to, because it starts off with so much confusion
Yeah,
from
and I
Legoshi's
thought-
size.
Well,
Y'all
I
know
thought a
why I
lot
like
of
the micro-
like the characters, like I just didn't really like jive with some of them. Like I said, I think it was just kind of like a complex like situation. I was like, okay, we're living with animals, like they're carnivores and carnivores. Is that the right word?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
I
carnivores.
thought I was saying
herbivores.
like the circus people, the carnies. And like I think I was just confused. I was like, okay, so like they like each other, but like he's also my eater. And I don't think I got to the point where he was like really like where you could really tell that he was just like actually scared of that part of him. So I was like, he's scared because he likes her, and that's why he doesn't want to eat her.
Or
But
he's
now I'm
scared
saying that
because
it's
he's
actually
never
scared
ate
because he
anybody.
doesn't want to eat anyone.
Yeah, I'd also say that I'm one for slow burns. So when I saw that intro and I knew they had
Mhm.
chemistry, I was willing to wait however long I needed
I think I
to
just
see
didn't
it.
feel the chemistry right away like you did, because I do like slow
Mhm.
burn stuff.
I would
love
agree. That's
reading
why I
slow
told
burn.
you. I was like, I think you would really like it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was that clicked in me when I saw that, the intro song. I think I was really lonely at the time.
Yeah, I think it's time and place. You were quarantine pandemic, you know, and you were
Mhm.
like,
I was feeling sad.
well, I found the show. I ain't got nothing else, literally nothing else to do with my life. 'Cause I'm sitting at
And
home, and it's only
potentially
12
I could
episodes. Let me
enjoy
just
a
finish
love
it.
story, you know?
But you guys showed it to me maybe not at that best time, so I was like,
Well, I feel like we should try it again. I feel like you should try
Mhm.
watching it again, and at least I want her to get to the part where they put that like carnival area up together, where he's like painting the float
Yes.
or whatever it is.
Oh yeah, that's
I
basically.
think she would love. I mean, I think it gets good before that, but that's a really fucking good scene.
describe
Yes.
the scene. Did I see that scene?
Where he crushes the paint in his hand because he's mad at.
Oh, I'm telling you,
Louis.
it's
I
like-
think I've seen that scene.
I'm not saying it's like necessarily Suki level when Suki made that cool shot in
Definitely
Haiku.
not. I don't
But-
care what the scene is.
No, because
I said it's not that
Yeah,
level.
yeah.
yes,
But the emotional reaction I got from him crushing that paint tube was very intense. Not 100% like Suki's, but like this bitch likes her. Like I was like, oh my God, he's so jealous. And I was like really into it, is
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
also, you know, he gives a shit about Haru, and he had earlier. He's like, "Do I smell Haru on you?"
I know,
Louis?"
it was the tension
and
building up.
I think he knows that Haru's role at this school is the school slut.
He
and that
doesn't
people
care, though.
use her, and I think that he gets extremely jealous at the fact, not only at the fact that like they're sleeping together, but he doesn't even care about Haru.
Yes. No, that's what was I
You're
was
talking
so
about Louis?
into. Girl. No. So, well, yeah, Louis fucking
Yeah.
Haru.
Who's the
but-
person who didn't care about her?
I think what Caitlin was saying that I really like is that Legoshi not only is getting jealous because people are actually physically touching her and, you know, he's actually attracted to her. He
Yeah.
doesn't want to eat her. But he's also upset because he's like, these people are using her. They don't know how good of a person they are. Like, it's just like that protectiveness of caring about who she is that I
His
really
mate.
found so attractive
furry
and
of
good
me to
of
say.
a character, you know? Which is
Yeah.
why I love that scene when he crushes the tube of paint. I feel like it shows jealousy so accurately,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't like Louis in the show.
Yeah, I know
although
you guys
Caitlin
don't
loves
like
him.
Lou. When I was watching it, I was like, I can see why no one likes him, but also like I think he does good for an antagonist.
Let me say
I'm not
this.
saying he's a
I
bad
think he's a
antagonist.
lot
but
more likable with his voice acting in the Japanese version because the pompousness that comes across in
If
the
I went to
English
school there,
version,
I'd be attracted to him.
yeah, in the Japanese version, he just sounds like a really put together, like serious guy, and he sounds just like very, very pompous in the English, and I don't like it personally. And I wanted to talk about Louis. That was one of the next things I was going to bring up. And So outside of
He's a Leo. That's why I'd be attracted to
That's
him.
why I don't
of
like
course
him.
he's a Leo.
That's
I
why I'd
could've
be
told you
attracted
that.
to
Really
him.
quick before you go into your point,
Okay.
Kaylin, this is really small.
Yeah.
I have a much different type than Kaylin. Kaylin's got a
Yeah.
wait. I can't
Yeah.
say our charts. Are we making people
No.
pay for it?
Yeah, but
Okay,
we do
whatever.
know that Kaylin has a,
Kaylin
very
has
much
a
different
Venus
type.
placement that is very prone to liking and being
Oh, it
attracted
can't
to people.
be anything.
Oh,
that we
you can
just
talk about my
mentioned.
house.
Shut
All
the fuck
you
up,
can
Kaylin.
talk about my placements all you want. My house just be getting deeper. So
Okay. All right.
I burped
Kaylin
again.
has a Leo Venus. So she's very attracted to confident, sure, passionate people. And Louis like that in the show. Like he's like the best at theater. He's confident. He knows himself. And I feel like
Legoshi
I
better
feel like
than
when
Louis.
she saw his voice, but what I'm saying is that I don't like Louis
Like,
at all.
overall, I would say that your
even when
type's
I heard
different than
Louis'
ours.
quote unquote good voice, I still didn't give a fuck because I'm just highly
You
turned
can
off.
watch it in
I'm highly
Japanese,
turned
though.
off by those kinds of people.
She only got a
But
taste. She didn't
me,
watch it all.
my entire taste is quiet, submissive men who have only feelings for you. It's just what it is.
yeah,
That's what I like. I'm
the
not attracted.
Torah-esque.
Torah, if you know
Well, he's
what
not
I'm
really submissive.
I
Maybe
didn't,
a
I
little
look at Legoshi.
emotionally
You're telling me he's
submissive.
submissive too. I mean, he's huge. He's a big wolf. Like I like.
But like,
I like.
I
that-
like the man who proceeds to,
Submissive
or
to
who
me is
shows
what
that he's
Kinsey
dominant, but in the
said.
bedroom he's actually extremely emotional
Dude, that's
and
what I'm
submissive
saying.
about his
I
emotions.
want him to be like a dominant figure, but has a very emotional, submissive personality.
Yeah, there we go.
So that is the dichotomy. that I
Literally,
like.
Torah, Legoshi.
So if you guys know who Torah is, you
If
know
you
what
read
I'm
Midnight
saying.
Poppyland, oh my god, it comes out this month.
I know. I've been thinking about it every day.
Let me do it.
What did you say?
I can't stop.
Didn't I do it for you?
Why are you singing that? What's that got to do with
It just
Torah?
keeps coming to my head.
All right, Kaylin. Okay, so now tell us about Louis. I just
Okay.
wanted to mention that because I think it's
Yeah.
really funny how Kaylin and I have very different
Fix your
types.
No. The main reason I'm
Or is his name Rui? What the fuck is it? I don't even give a shit. about it.
Rui? Who's Rui?
Rui is the Japanese name.
Oh.
It's weird. It's Rui Senpai. Anyways, Louis is the English voice, so we're just gonna go with that. Okay, for a Leo written character, this proud deer with these amazing cool antlers, and he's the coolest kid in school. And here's the thing, I like talking about characters. Okay, so when we say our favorite characters, like
Did you say bless you yourself?
Yes.
we get into deep why they're our favorite. I also just like getting deep about well-written characters. That doesn't mean they're my favorite, Kinsey, but let's get into...
She's talked about him
Louis.
like horny before. I'm sorry. She's been
No.
like, I like Louis.
She's literally making shit
I'm
up.
not lying because I was like, Kaylin, why do you like him? Why are you attracted to any of his energy? And she's like, he's not my favorite, but I like him. I remember because it
You're
seared my
literally
brain.
making shit up.
Whatever. Anyways, continue.
I like that they write for this confident Leo-esque energy, the ego and the scared fearfulness of not being powerful in this world, because at the end of the day he's an herbivore. He might hold his head up very he might hold his head up very prideful and act like the toughest guy, but deep down he's terrified that he's weak and that classmates around him are stronger, and it gets to him very toxically, and he breaks down multiple times. Like when his leg is fucking broken, he
That was
performs
tragic for
the
him.
entire first set, and he's like, I did it, and then he gets pissed off because of course when you perform on your broken leg you're gonna look like even worse. I also think it's interesting because in the wild, animals will try to act like they're not injured when they have broken legs or they're hurt in any way, because predators notice that more and they attack you for that. So he's like, I can't let anyone know I'm weak. So you get some of the animal-esque shit in there as well.
Yeah, if you want to talk about his character itself and the really cool sides to him, I will say I think he's a really good written character in that aspect. I love that he acts like this pompous asshole who has all this power because he is the Beastar or whatever the fuck has that title, but he is still not a predator at the end of the day. I do love that aspect because when you think of a stag, deer too, they are powerful.
Yeah,
they
so
have
what is
big
he
ass
considered?
antlers.
He's not a predator, but he's also not a carnivore, right?
No, he's an herbivore. So at the end
He's
of
a
the day,
deer.
think about it.
Yeah, so I'm trying to
Lions-
understand the dynamic of the show. So I'm sorry, I clocked out for a second in my brain. But obviously the whole story is about a carnivore eating a small creature.
Yes.
I know.
So
but
I would imagine this dichotomy in the whole world of Beastar
Yeah.
So where do people like Louis sit in the
Well,
food
wait,
chain?
no, I was explaining it. Let me
sorry.
keep explaining it. So he's still a predator at the end of the day, but he's a prey at the end of the day, but he's on the higher end of prey,
Yeah.
right? Like a rabbit's gonna die a lot easier than fighting a stag deer.
Yeah.
You know, like lions hunt
Lions, tigers,
antelope.
bears. Oh my.
Lions hunt antelope, but it's really hard to get one because they're fast, and they also have little antlers, right? Like maybe, obviously, a lion is probably gonna win most times out of 10. You know,
But why
But-
do that when there's 5 bunnies right there?
Well,
or
okay.
why do that when you could go after an injured one, right? So to an extent, Louis does have a lot more power and almost like, you know, defense in comparison to a bunny fighting off an herbivore.
Yeah.
So he can kind of feign that confidence. But he knows at the end of the day, though, that he would still be eaten if they ever got the chance.
And I'm seeing the symbolics that you're saying about like him still wanting to perform.
Yeah.
So now when I'm thinking of the show, I'm seeing so much more like symbolism between like the characters and where they sit in
Yeah.
the dynamic of just the
like
school,
it's a
let
food
alone
chain.
it is a food chain in the school system, not even in the sense of the world that they live in.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
probably why people like Haru are just like seen as objects because she's a small little creature and they're like, well, we can just have sex with her.
Oh yeah, the relationship between carnivore and herbivore in this world definitely like ties into the society of
Yeah.
this world, and yeah, you're completely right. Another layer to Louis with this ego issue he has is with Legoshi, which is why people make fun of their like, you know, whole gay, you know,
They were so
insinuated,
gay in
like-
that
That is
first
so
scene.
funny.
Don't play with me. They were gay in that scene.
When you first showed it to me, I was like,
At least Louis.
So how Louis feels about Legoshi is that deep down, like even though he's confident on the outside, deep down he's fearful. He actually came from the black market when he was a child and almost was, you know, slaughtered as a child. And he got out of it only through, you know,
Being adopted.
a wealthy deer that needed an heir and couldn't have children. That's the only reason he got out. So deep down he has that background that like he was meant to die. He has a brand on his foot that
That's
literally
traumatic, too.
like
from
yeah,
a young
he has
age.
a brand on his foot saying like you will be eaten. Like so he carries that with him, and he carries this like I have to be strong on the outside or someone will get me. Like and deep down he's scared of that. I keep saying deep down. Cut out some of these deep downs, Mariah.
I don't think she can. It'll completely ruin your sentence
gonna do
flow
that.
structure.
So sorry.
I'm listening. I have to
Okay.
do my gratitude or it won't come back, so I'm just doing it real quick.
Okay. So he meets Legoshi, and Legoshi is this on the outside powerful, strong carnivore, and he gets pissed off at the fact that he doesn't want to accept that. He's like, you're so strong. You literally could like fucking eat me, and you're out here trying to pretend to be something you're not. Like you're trying to
He's like, when
deny your strength and deny your power. That pisses me off.
Yeah, he's
because-
like, I would love to live in a world where I'm not afraid to die. You know?
It's this it's a form of jealousy, but then he's also like kind of in his face about it where he, like I think he's trying to get Legoshi to break. He's like, why don't you just eat me then? Huh? I bet you want to eat me with your teeth and shit. Like quit pretending like you're not interested, you know, like
But why does he want him to break, though, is the question. I don't think that's correct, Kaylin. I think he gets a power high when he roasts Legoshi, and Legoshi still doesn't, you know, take on that.
because
I
think
think
in
there's
this
two
world-
sides to it.
No, think of the character Bill. Okay, that tiger. He's a very pompous carnivore. Like he's strong on the outside, and then additionally, he's not fearful. He's an apex predator in this world. So he sees carnivores even as like maybe fools, and like they're just like these, you know, big buff guys walking around. So when he sees Legoshi not acting like that, he's like, oh, like I think he feels a little bit insulted by Legoshi when he acts like that.
I don't know. I don't think he even wants. I don't think he would ever want him to break, because if he broke, he would obviously attack Louis. I think Louis has a power high when he gets to tell Legoshi what he is and how he's a cowardice bitch. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why he antagonizes him in person, because he likes having that control. He can't go up to any carnivore and do that.
But he literally tells Legoshi that like he gets actually angry at Legoshi
Well,
when
I do
he
think
is
that's true, too.
walking around acting docile when he's like, you're supposed to be this
Yeah,
big
but
bad
that's
wolf.
that's
like,
two different conversations, though. Like, he's jealous of the fact that Legoshi is a carnivore and has that power, and he's mad about the fact that Legoshi does not take that power. He does not, like, you know, embody that power, because he's like, obviously, I would like to not be afraid to die every day. Like, fuck you for basically looking at your overlooking your privilege, right? But at the same time, I think he antagonized Legoshi in that moment to feel better about himself. It gives him that power.
I agree
So
with
I
that
just
point.
didn't agree when you said that he wanted him to break, because obviously if Legoshi broke in that time, If he was actually pushing Legoshi and wanted him to break, that means he'd be asking for a death wish.
Well, I didn't mean make him break in the sense of, like, actually get him to eat him. I think he's just, like, in denial that, like, a docile carnivore even could exist. Because from his background, he's like, oh, deep down, every predator wants to eat. So why are you different? And he's, like, almost testing those boundaries where he's like, you know, you can't be like this completely peaceful
I guess
creature.
you could say that he was trying to test him, but I know for a fact he would not be testing him to the point that he'd want to see if he would break.
I didn't mean it by
like, I just think I was taking your sentence like for what it was on the surface. I think you meant to say something else.
Even if he got Legoshi to even like take a bite out of him, because he would antagonize him at the drama club, like where other people are around. I'm sure that he was just like, come on, like bury your fangs at me, like because he saw the, you know, ferret guy and him get in a fight, and he's like, oh, so, you know, you only want to show your teeth off to, you know, other carnivores, like, but you want to act so peaceful around me when I know that's not true. I know you want to eat me. And Legoshi's like, no, I literally don't want to eat you. I'm so nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just him questioning his motives. I just think I took your initial sentence for what I would think it would mean on the surface, which is I thought, I mean, that's what you said. I thought you were trying to say that he was trying to get him to eat him because by getting him to try to break, that's what that means. But if you're saying that he just constantly challenges his actual ideas, he's like, are you actually like that? I really don't think you are if you're a predator. But I don't think he'd ever want to push him to the point where he'd actually break and hurt him. So that's why I was just correcting what you were saying, because I don't think that's what that meant.
That's fine. I mean, and you know what? That's good for the podcast. I'm sure people maybe took it that way, and that clarifies it. So it's good that you did ask.
Thank you.
So another thing I wanted to hit up before we, you know, I hit my favorite part, Black Market, you know, and the episode where they stumble upon it and they've all heard of it, the classmates. It's all of Legoshi's carnivore classmates conveniently, except for the dog. I don't think the dog friend went. I think it was just like his friends from the drama club. Yeah, technically,
he is
dog
a carnivore.
Dang.
But he didn't go.
Yeah, I think it was just his drama club friends. Bill, like, they're at a cafe at first, and Bill's talking about how he's like, fuck this other, like,
I did not
tiger.
like that. That irritated the shit out of me.
And then he's like, I bet you're still a virgin, Legoshi. And, like, it was like a weird, funny scene. But then they go to this black market, and all of his friends are hype over it. They're like, man, I've heard of this place. We can get, like, some good meat and shit, like, shit we're not allowed to have. And Legoshi's having an existential crisis about it. Like, he's
so what
not
do these
having a good
characters
time.
eat if they don't eat meat?
Oh, at school they eat like egg sandwiches because egg is protein, and if it's not fertilized, it's not like they're eating.
I think
any
they
babies.
eat,
Imagine
like,
being a whole
also
ass carnivore and they're like, here's some eggs. It's
Well,
like their
that's-
equivalent.
So, in the black market episode, Legoshi runs away from his friends. He's like, I am disgusted by all of you guys. And also, he's a little bit disgusted with himself because he wants the meat. He smells it. So, I think he, like, runs to this alley and passes out and, like, basically has, like, a carnivore panic attack.
He
That's
does.
when the
Yeah, I've
panda...
seen that scene.
Yeah, that's when Panda, or Gon, picks him up. I think his name's Gon. I don't know. Picks him up and he's like, you ate someone, didn't you? And he's like, no, I swear to God, I didn't. And he's like, you have the symptoms of someone who just ate a herbivore. You're lying to me. And, you know, I think he proves that he's innocent somehow, but Gon talks about how hard it is to be a predator and talks about what it does to your body when you're malnourished from not having enough protein. He's like, he's a panda, so he's like one of the carnivores that can survive happily on just plants and bamboos.
Yeah.
He's an omnivore.
And he's a doctor.
He's an omnivore. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, but they called him a, like, carnivore in the show. I don't know. It's weird.
I'm a animal scientist.
I know.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
she's a
I know.
professional.
I'm just messing with you.
Just being a smart
So he's a doctor that specializes in rehabilitating carnivores who are struggling severely with, you know, eating herbivores so that they can go back into society. So he talks about the bad side effects that these animals have not eating their, you know, diets that they need, which is meat.
Yeah.
And it's a very weird world because, yeah, it's wrong to eat people, you know, like other
Yeah, I mean, it's
citizens
like
and shit,
it's like you can't survive without meat or like the proper protein.
Like, in my opinion, I think it's actually abuse to not let a carnivore have meat. And I think that this world, I'm not saying they should go out and kill civilians, but I think that, like, dead animals, like animals that die from illnesses or whatever the fuck, as long as the meat's
All I'm
like
saying
clean, I
is
think they should be allowed to eat it.
If the colons could survive on deer meat and not actually kill the deer or humans,
There's gotta be
then there's
another
got to be another
solution.
way for these people
So-
in Beastars.
There's got to be some non-sentient animals
Yeah.
in this world.
So the black market, from my understanding, is mostly made up of hospital and funeral homes, illegal traded animals. So it's like animals who have passed, but like,
Well, they probably do that because in
like
this in this imaginary world, like if they've never eaten meat, and then even if you expose them to dead meat, it's like, oh, that's what meat tastes like. I'm craving it now. Then they're more tempted to kill
That's
alive.
but
that's
there's
the other
another layer
part.
to it where the children were being raised and like almost not sex
trafficking.
but
It was definitely trafficking. So there was
yes.
bad parts to it. They weren't just giving them dead animals. They were raising people like Louis from a young age to be sold.
yes.
Yeah.
So that's when they try to start rehabilitate his feelings towards Haru. He's like, oh, so you like this little rabbit girl? And he's like, yeah, I want to protect her. And he's like, are you sure you want to protect her, or do you want to eat her? Are you trying to
I
protect
think
your
that's when I
friend?
stopped watching it. I was like, I'm confused. Does he like her? Like, does he want to fuck her, or
I
does
was
he
like,
want to
what's
eat
your
her?
But I
feelings?
wanted to know. I was like, next episode, play.
Yeah, I was like, I can't wait for this. I'm tired.
so then the scene happens, the carnival scene, where he sees her with Louis, and he's like, you can be
My
with him.
fave scene.
She gets kidnapped. Louis and him get in a fight because Louis didn't give a shit. Which at the end of the day, like, I feel like some fans will argue that he does care about Haru because he still goes to save her, and he shows like some interest, but I don't think he loves her like
I don't
Legoshi
think
does
he loves
at
her.
all.
And I think I will give Louis the point that he's a deer. How is he going to fight off a den of lions, right? But I feel like it's the fact that he so easily chose to give up. He didn't think about all of his, options.
Yeah.
He still ended up coming for her at the end of the day, but I think he was out of a place of solidarity and maybe even embarrassment about Legoshi going to do it, but he didn't do it.
Yeah, because that mayor talked Louis out of even trying to help. Louis gave a shit at first. He's like, she just got kidnapped, and the mayor was like, homie, this happens, and you're the Beastar, so like you could be a mayor someday. Like, we don't help.
Chill.
Yeah.
Chill, dog.
And we get into my favorite scene. So he teams up with Panda Man. Legoshi does. He's like, hey, I need help save my girlfriend. And Panda Man pulls out his crossbow.
Die?
No.
Oh yeah. I was just
And he
wondering.
said, let's go
forgot.
fight a gang of lions. And it's funny because they have guns, but for the majority of the majority of the part, they fight like animals, and it's funny.
That did confuse me when he had a gun. I was like, we're animals.
And then my favorite scene that literally made me tear up was when he's saving Haru and the piano music plays, and she's like, what are you doing here? Like, I'm supposed to die because I don't give a shit about
She was
myself.
totally accepting her dying. She's
Yes.
like, fuck.
She's like, I'm a fucking prey in this world. And he's like, here, I know my shirt stinks, but take it. It was so sweet.
Well,
like-
although that scene's good, it's not my favorite scene. Kaylin, I know we kind of zoomed through towards the end, but I just wanted to mention how we were kind of talking about it, but it was so sad seeing during the black market scene that a lot of these animals weren't even caring about how the fact that they were eating people. Like, in this world, all animals are considered like us, like people conscious, right? So even if they're herbivores and carnivores, you're still eating people, even if they are herbivores, right? And the carnivores, when they went there, and a lot of them weren't caring, they weren't even thinking about it or feeling a little bit bad. I was like, I was very turned off by it. I was like, I know you guys need meat, so I still agree with the fact that you should have some meat. But the fact that you were so clearly not giving a shit about how these were people who had lives, like almost as if it's
I wish
like a
I could
guilty
talk about
pleasure.
some season 2 stuff, because like there's so many more depths to like certain characters I would love to talk about in relation to that, as far as just the consciousness and respecting that was a life, while you're consuming. What are you talking about, Mark?
I put my hand up because I had this memory about 4 times. It kept leaving me. Are there any sea animals in Beastar?
I don't remember seeing any. I'm sure there are.
Like,
but
maybe they'll elaborate, like 2 or 3. There'll be some underwater creatures showing up.
I don't know anything
Yeah,
about
why don't they just eat fish?
I don't know
Or the fish walking around.
I know. I don't know anything about season 2,
Yeah.
so I couldn't tell you. But that would make sense.
Yeah,
I'm
it
saying
would.
there's got to
They
be
should've
some
had a
other
fish sandwich.
fucking
In
Shit.
BoJack
solutions.
Horseman, there's a whole community underwater. And the one season BoJack goes down there, he's got like a fancy air thing. but
There's a
he's down
whale
there.
newsman in that show. I knew that.
Yeah, there is.
Uh,
Now that you think about it, there is. He breathes oxygen. He doesn't have water connected
Well,
to
he's a
him.
mammal. He's not a fish, girl.
He don't need water?
Yeah, but whales breathe through their hole on their.
Yeah, they don't
Oh, you're right. I was like, now that you think
They're
about it.
They're porpoises. A little thing, Kaylin, I don't know a lot about season 2, but I know you said it doesn't really focus a lot on their relationship, which is why I kind of have. It is like entirely.
I
different
could
story.
see you
That's what it
dropping
feels
the
like.
show after watching season 2.
It's
not
like
gonna
Promise
lie.
Neverland. It's like if you came for the love and the romance, just drop it after that.
I would love to read the manga, which I have it right here. They have like, I'm talking about the smallest moments and the smallest interactions like throughout season 2, and season 2 it's weird. They take a really weird left turn where he's like, I want to protect Haru. I want to protect Haru, into this like, I want to protect herbivores, and like he kind of becomes like this like fighter for justice and shit, and like is fighting like different carnivores. It's weird. I still like season 2 when I like actually finished it, but I didn't like it the same way that I liked season 1, and I hope that they come back around to some of the romance elements.
Yeah.
But
That's what I came for.
Well, maybe
Yeah.
I'll try to rewatch it.
Shit, I was gonna mention something.
I know. Sorry, audience. I've been so stuttery this episode.
Actually
been a
really
long-
weren't that bad stuttering.
I
Maybe
felt
it's
like
not
I
bad in
was.
comparison to how when I stuttered.
I was like, well, deep down,
Because when I
deep
stuttered
down,
really
he had the backstory deep down.
I'm
I
like,
was like,
It's like a tire burning out.
it's so bad. I'm not gonna lie. When I was studying really bad, it's because I was so stressed with school that my brain like wasn't working.
That's okay. I'm just teasing you,
I know
bro.
you do.
Um,
Let me do it for you.
why don't I do it for you? Huh. Dang, I mean,
Guess you don't remember.
guess that's.
was it black market shit? Was it
no,
Haru
it's just
shit?
like. I
Was
guess
it the
there's-
sex scene?
I don't want to talk about that because there was no sex and it literally lasted for 0.2
completely
seconds.
forgot about the part that Louis was raised for the black market. When y'all said that, I was like, damn, I forgot.
You know, I was gonna say something from the straight up beginning about Haru. We were talking about her body,
Mm-hmm.
and I would say a lot of the female characters' bodies did look the same in the show.
Yeah.
But since she was so small, I did like that they made her body just a little bit more like. I don't want to use this word like plump. Like I don't know. She seemed like a woman who, if she realistically did have.
It was Mariah.
Wow. If
She
she,
had more
realis-
curvature to her body because you're right. If you're that small,
like,
it's-
usually
things are
when
going to be
they make-
more.
Oh yeah, there's less room to stretch. But usually when a woman has that big of boobs, I feel like in media and anime specifically, they make their proportions really unrealistic.
Yes.
You know, like my back wouldn't be able to support that
Yeah.
shit. But I felt like hers was very, very legit. Like I was like, yeah, that
I
makes
would agree.
sense.
Like a proportional
It was
woman,
very proportional.
not a cinched ass waist.
Not
or
a
like,
cinched
yeah.
ass waist. She had she could fit her organs in there. You know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I did appreciate that because as a short woman, there's not that much room to stretch
Mm-hmm.
your baggage. You know.
we didn't talk
So-
about Juno at all.
Who?
Juno, the girl wolf.
Dude, actually, Juno's so
Oh.
hot. And I know she's, like, not that nice of a character, pretty bad character. But if she would have been nice, I would have loved to see her with Legoshi because they would just been cute.
Yeah.
But her actual character is horrible. So,
Yeah, it's a very immature, like, I'm watching season 2, and she has a few more moments. I'd like to see her develop, because think about it.
It'd be cool.
If you're a freshman at high school, you're probably not at your most mature. You're probably at, like, a very think
sorry, I was showing.
think about your freshman year at high school. You were probably competitive and jealous and
Absolutely.
toxic. Like, I'd like to see her character develop. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't hate her character.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the scene when she sees Legoshi. Did you see that when they were dancing and stuff?
Yeah, you showed me the dancing scene.
That was so cute. I mean, like, he wasn't into her, but I'm saying, like,
So
I
she was
feel
like trying so hard to be like, I'm into you, and he was like,
I think it's so
I feel like
funny.
it
She's so jealous of
accurately-
Haru though. She's
Yeah.
like, you're fucking a rabbit.
I feel like it was so accurate showing, like, when you have a crush on somebody who's not into you.
Yeah, and
you
you're
know?
like trying
I
so
loved it.
hard to get them to like you. And you're like, if I impress them, they'll like me. And it
Mhm.
definitely gave off some like freshman to like maybe a sophomore vibes. Like I'm trying to impress the upperclassman, cool guy.
Oh yeah, she's definitely that kind of character. I think what attracts people to Beastars is this how human it is at the end of the day, the stories, the experiences, just the writing. Like when you are going through like whether it's the manga or the anime, like you get immersed into what's going on and the sociology going on, the society, the plots. You're not really necessarily like watching it because they have animal heads at all.
Yeah, you guys gave me some interesting outlooks thinking about like the society part of it and like the food chain stuff.
That's why I thought you were going to like it a lot initially, because there's so many layers to, like, you know, you can understand the herbivores, but you can also understand the carnivores. They're literally falling apart.
Maybe
if
it's
they
just when
don't
I
eat
watched it, all I knew was like this is a romance.
It's also a very slow
meat.
romance.
If she gets naked, like, in the first
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah, and it's hard because after I finished season 2, I was like, I finished season 1 like on the edge of my seat with the romance. I'm like, what's next? And to watch season 2 and still not get like hardly any crumbs for the romance, it was. I just needed to see more progression, and like the most progression they had was just like, you know, some flirtations. Like, or actually, there was a few more things in season 2, but not enough for me.
Dang.
Would you guys share Beastars?
I would. I mean, it is furry stuff, so it's like not normie level shit. I feel like I think Beastars was my first furry experience from what I can experience. What I
Animal
can
Crossing
remember.
was.
No, obviously there's little animals, but like I'm talking like human bodies proportions.
Yeah.
With just a wolf on the top for its head, right? And coming from someone that wasn't used to that stuff, it was jarring, but I was so invested in the love that I was like, you know what? I'll try anything once, you know? So I would not just show anybody. I'd have to show somebody that was... I've tried showing people.
I showed my stepmother.
I've tried showing people and being like, listen, just listen to me and watch this show. And if you still don't like it, like how I thought Mariah wasn't going to like it, that's fine. But at least try it.
Who have you showed?
I tried showing... just beep that out. They didn't like it. They didn't want to try it. We never watched an episode.
Dang, not even an episode. I would probably not share this with anyone, mostly because I can't vouch for it. Like I said, maybe I'll try to watch it again because I do think that I like a lot of like interesting like taboo or like niche stuff like that. Like I feel like anything quirky, I'm like, let me give it a try. It's funky. It's funny to look at. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
And obviously, like when I met you, I told you I was very depressed when I met you, so I was rewatching BoJack Horseman for like the 4th time, and you were like, "Well, you like animals, like there's a small chance you like Beastars," and I was like, "Yeah, I'll give it a try." And
and so that wraps up the list I gave Mariah. We've watched Over the Garden Wall, Promised Neverland, and Beastars.
Yeah,
that's funny.
I think your name might have been on the list.
No,
no,
I think I gave you a verbal recommendation for that.
Yeah, we'll touch on that eventually. 2 out of 3. It's not technically it's failing, but I think that's a failing grade. But we'll say that at least I liked 2/3 of it. So yeah, that's a 66% over here.
Well, thank you guys for sitting in. Watching us.
It was nice to hear the breakdown because I only watched like the first 4 episodes and then like 2 select random ones that you showed me, and then I watched that random recap.
I was like, at that point, I was like, I'm gonna show you every one of the best scenes.
I know that's what you did. I think you were just like, you have to watch this scene and then this scene. I was like, okay, I'll at least watch these scenes.
I was like, if you're not gonna finish it, I'm just gonna finish it for you.
It's okay. Kinsey, what are you showing us next week?
What was on the list? I just gave you my options. I didn't choose what I was gonna do. Oh my god.
So, Kinsey, what are you sharing with us next week?
I'm going to show you guys Where the Crawdads Sing. And it's a really cute movie. I'm talking up there.
Is this our first real person movie?
I don't know. Is it?
No. The horror movie 2nd episode.
Oh, you're right. You're
Silent
right.
Hill.
Silent
But
Hill
it does
is a good
break our anime streak that we have going.
one. It does. But I would say it's up there with Notebook. I'm not even kidding. I think it's
Notebook?
really good. What are you talking about?
No, I'm just laughing. I didn't like The Notebook.
You're a psychopath.
I watched it. When I was a
talking
young
about?
kid, and I didn't understand that the character had Alzheimer's.
So was that the last time you watched it?
Yep.
So we're gonna watch it again. And obviously, as a child, you're not gonna understand
I watched it
that.
at like 13. I just didn't understand.
Still too young.
But
Oh, I'm not finished. What?
When I watched The Notebook as a kid, I don't remember anything that happened. So yes, we can rewatch it.
I don't
the only
think
thing
I'd
I
like it
remembered
still.
was that when I was a kid.
If
Shut
you
up.
cried during the Crawdad Sing one,
listen to Caitlin.
you're gonna
up.
cry during the Notebook.
Shut up.
Shut up. When I was a kid, this is the only part I remember from The Notebook, is I liked that they were naked under the blanket. And when I was a kid, I tried to look under the blanket.
Caitlin's a pervert. But anyways, what I was saying was obviously we're gonna make these hooligans rewatch The Notebook. It makes me cry every time. There's not really any movie besides that movie that can consistently make me cry every time I watch it.
Bring it back to Where the Crawdad Sings.
Well, it's related to that. I just said that Where the Crawdad. If you cry during Where the Crawdads Sing, you're gonna cry when you watch The Notebook.
I think I cried like a little bit when I watched it.
I would say their
You
romance.
were 13. I'm not counting that.
Listen, I would say their romance was almost as good as Legoshi and Haru's.
I would say that in Where
Get
the
the fuck
Crawdad
outta
Sings
here.
has nothing to do with Beastars comparison.
Sorry guys, if some of our hearts weren't put into it. This was our
I tried
furry
really
episode. The only other furry
I'm not
episode.
anti-furry. I just didn't like Beastars.
She
She
will.
says that when
tries
she
again.
introduced the Animal Crossing episode, and you really liked the Rescuers Down Under. So I'd say we're a furry channel at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, talk to you guys next week.
Click and out.
You know.